Once again, a big thank you to everyone who continues to join us over at the Florida Monkey Patreon channel. It's only $1 per month, fully refundable first 90 days, lowest allowable level, even less if you sign up for an entire year. We can partner with Vimeo over there and kind of take the gloves off. Vimeo is a different server. Google doesn't see the content, so they can't necessarily rate it or shadow ban it like they've been doing my video from earlier today. I think we touched a nerve where we pointed out the fact that perhaps some young ladies were doing something intentionally that the Washington Post would have you believe they are being made a victim of. So, anyway, check that out. The censors, the algorithm, whatever you want to call it, is definitely shadow banning it. Now, with all the bad news out there, I would like to relate some good news, and some congratulations are in order. Patriot Nurse, we talked about her quite a bit on this channel over the last year or two. She has crossed the 500,000 subscriber mark. Her most recent premiere on 16 September 2022 has somehow filled in all of the boxes and done what it's needed to do to make its way into recommended. And she is now closing in on 500,000 views. 445,000 is what's being displayed on the video itself, but usually that means it's already well over 20% higher. That's usually what happens. The number that you see displayed is usually quite a bit lower than the actual view rate. So once again, congratulations, Patriot Nurse, over 500,000 subscribers, and also making it into the suggested. And to show you how big of a video that was, she's been on YouTube for 12 years. And her oldest one, who will die first when SHTF, a warning, 12 years, 1.1 million views. Her number two, 967,000, took 4 years to get there. Ironically, very weird, her number three most watched video on YouTube, SEX in SHTF, special considerations. Very odd given the recent attitude many of my audience have taken with my discussing it. Apparently only nurses and women can. 633,000 views, but that took 9 years. In 6 days, right here, the title you're watching it happen, DeSantis, the feds, and the, what is it? And the illegal alien showdown has garnered 445,000 displayed views. Now, they have it displayed down here. It really should be up here. The mechanism they use to arrange the thumbnails has not caught up with this. It should be her number 7 most viewed video in only 6 days. And these are 12 years, 4 years, 9 years, 3 years, 2 years, 12 years, 8 years. So that shows you the kind of play this is getting. She has one from about 6 months ago that did pretty good, 322K down here. But most of these videos, when you look at them, all of the higher numbers are almost all many years old. That's how difficult it is for anyone with a conservative voice to get any kind of play. So huge congratulations. If you want to track the actual numbers, there is a website called Social Blade, just like it sounds, SOCIALBLADE.com. And you can go in and type in whatever the username is of the person you want to see, and it'll show you all of their daily subscriber counts and video views. It will give you an estimated earnings, but don't fall for that. It's a generalized number that is very wide-ranging, and depending on the type of channel that it is, it can be wildly wrong. Some YouTubers have made entire channels dedicated to just outing what other YouTubers make. Trust me when I tell you, these numbers very, very inaccurate. Then they vary. Like here it says $12 a day to $185 a day. Now think about that for just a second. 12 to 185. That would be, let's see, 40 hours a week. That'd be the difference between $480 a week or $8,000. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But as you can see, recently, her numbers have started to tick up, and last couple of days, 149,000. a day. 109,000 so far and counting today. So well done. Well done. It is great to hear conservative voices finally making their way somehow through the algorithm. I don't know, honestly, these days how to do it. To be very honest with you, I've tried everything, and nothing seems to stick against the wall, but she's been doing this a lot longer than I have, so I'm just going to defer to her wisdom and her talent, skill, and knowledge. So if you haven't seen The Patriot Nurse, you're missing out. Check her out. So anyway, where were we going with this? Oh, well, they finally come out and said it. Nuclear war is possible. U.S. commander, for the first time since the Cold War, conflict with a nuclear-armed peer is no longer theoretical. Navy Admiral Charles Richard, commander of U.S. STRATCOM, declared on Wednesday that for the first time since the end of the Cold War, the U.S. faces the possibility of nuclear war with a peer-level opponent. Speaking at an Air Force organized conference in Maryland, Richard claimed that the U.S. would have to prepare to escalate quickly against possible opponents and protect its homeland. All of us in this room are back in the business of contemplating direct armed conflict with a nuclear-capable peer, he said, according to a Pentagon summary of his comments. Quote, "We have not had to do this in over 30 years. Now, that's roughly spitballing about the amount of time I've been out of the military. So that's how different things are. I mean, when I was in the military, this was just an assumption. It was just, assumed, even though technically the wall had come down, there was still no lack of respect for the former Soviet Union. Now, it was just a couple of days ago, before this announcement was made public, that I used this quote from this fictional character in Game of Thrones. When your enemies... Pardon me 1 minute. Sorry about that. When your enemies defy you, you must serve them steel and fire. But when they go to their knees, however, you must help them back to their feet. Elsewise, no man will ever bend the knee to you. Now, this is really good and applicable wisdom. Because even defeating completely Vladimir Putin, if we don't give him an honorable way out, it's going to end badly. This man is not going to surrender unconditionally like the Japanese did or the Germans did. It's just not going to happen. It's not wired in him to do it. There are people fleeing Russia right now. Fleeing because they don't want to be conscripted. Now, if we had thousands and thousands and thousands of people heading for our borders, fearing U.S. conscription or the U.S. draft, what do you think Fox News would be reporting? Of course, they're all liberals. They're all anti-American liberals. Snowflakes. The first sign of trouble, they run. See, that's what that's what Fox News would report. President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin. A quote. One of the characteristic features of the peoples of Russia is to fulfill their duty without feeling sorry for themselves when the circumstances so demand. Such values as selflessness, patriotism, love for their home, their family, and fatherland remains fundamental and integral to the Russian society to this day. It almost sounds very Americanish, doesn't it? I mean, this could have been ripped right off. You change a few words here, right off a recruiting poster from the 1980s and 90s. Selflessness, patriotism, love for family and home and country. Here they use fatherland, but you could hear the same words. So mark my words, if they don't allow some way for this to end, where Russia can save face, some kind of face, it will end up in a cloud somewhere. And I'm just going to say it. I'm not saying acquiesce. I'm not saying everybody should become communists. I'm not saying they should or should not do any one specific thing. But the idea that there is going to be this complete and total 100% unconditional capitulation like there was in the Pacific and in Germany during World War II. That's just not going to happen. That is just not going to happen. If they think so, they're deluded about what this man is capable of. So, my humble opinion, I will leave it there. But once again, congratulations. It was a long time coming, well earned. She should have crossed over 500,000 subscribers a long time ago. There are people on this platform that have been on this platform for less than a couple of years that have multiple millions of subscribers that put out some of the most empty-handed content. And for 12 years, she has been putting out really, really good, meat-filled, pardon the analogy here, content. And one other thing I wanted to show, it's something else that I've talked about, and the reason, and let me put it out very honestly, the reason I talked about it is because she did. With being healthy. Her number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, her number 8 video, top 10 video, how I lost 70 pounds and kept it off juice fasting. I mean, it's, I've talked about getting in shape, staying in shape, healthy eating, and I've talked a lot about the word we can't say, the SEX word, and it's her number 3 and number 8 video. So before you go judging me, perhaps, maybe, check these out and see if she says anything different than what I do. So anyway, I will leave it there. God bless, like, share, subscribe. Once again, thank you for joining us over at Patreon. Those of you who already have, next 48 hours, we're going to be doing a follow-up to the video we did earlier today, but we're going to take the gloves off. And we're going to talk about things over there, because we can on Vimeo, in the way that they need to be talked about, and uncover the real reason that girls, even though they're uncomfortable, are still dolling their hair up in pigtails to go make the money. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.